this episode of Conversation with a Chef. I'm Jo Ritty and I love sharing with you the conversations I get to have with talented and passionate chefs. It's the backstory, if you will, to the food they're putting up. I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the lands and airwaves where this conversation took place. Land which was never ceded, land where communities came together to eat seasonally, locally and without exhausting resources. I pay my respects to their elders past and present and to any First Nations people listening today. Today I'm talking to Sunny Gilbert at the Hofbrauhaus. What a wild and impressive ride of a career. When I went in to chat to Sunny at the Hofbrauhaus, I did not expect to hear about cooking whole crocodiles in a bread oven in China. A career as a chef can certainly take you places. Sunny hadn't planned on being a chef, but once he got into a kitchen as a kitchen hand, he was quickly hooked, loving the adrenaline rush of service and wanting to push himself as quickly as possible. From starting his career in Darwin and taking the crocodiles to China and so on, to moving to Melbourne, working in hotels, owning his own restaurant in Docklands, and eventually becoming head chef at MoVida next door, Sunny has had so much hospitality experience. He brings all that knowledge to the Hofbrauhaus, a Melbourne institution which has been around for 56 years. Sunny is executive chef and owner of this incredible place that sees chefs crumb to order hundreds of schnitzels on a Saturday night, and where the tables in the upstairs beer hall next door are reinforced because of the dancing. The Hofbrauhaus is a good time and Sunny is there for it, a firm believer in the goodness of hospitality and the importance of nurturing the next generation. I love this conversation and I will see you up on those tables in the beer hall after I've eaten a schnitzel and had a Bavarian lager. See you there. Prost. Nice to meet you.
You too.
I've been reading a little bit about you, and I read an article, I think even you must have written it, about what I was doing or what I did and what I'm doing. Was that?
Yeah, so that was Maria Petrova.
Yeah.
So she was my partner a few years back, and she was a writer, and she did a few of them actually.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great idea, and it really gave me a really good idea of you and sort of what you've done and how you got into becoming a chef, because you didn't initially think that you would be a chef, and had some other projects going on.
Well, it always seems to be this industry. You can fall into it and fall in love with it pretty quickly. For me, I suppose it was more the adrenaline that I got from it.
Yeah,
and the sort of instant feedback that you can get.
Yeah, right.
Being in a kitchen environment.
Yeah.
So
that was up in Darwin?
Yep. So I was born and bred in Darwin.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was luckily in the right time at the right place. So I used to play junior cricket, and one day. I finished up a job, and then I was just walking the streets, and then an old friend of the family said, "Oh, what are you doing?" I said, "Actually, I'm looking for a job." And this was before I decided, because I wanted to go to uni and do some marketing, but he said, "Oh, the old cricket club's got a job as a kitchen hand," and I said, "Great." So I went there and I met John Walsh, who was Malcolm Fraser's chef. Yeah. And he was quite a young guy. Well, I thought he was old. He was 33. So, but he was a very talented chef, and he took Darwin by storm.
Wow, okay.
And so I managed to just fit in there, and I fit in well, and that was it. That was my journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, and him and Andrew Filkey were the two chefs that sort of started the native ingredients, so the bush tucker.
Okay.
So that was early 90s, and that was really a moment in time where he was doing really exciting stuff with kangaroo, wallaby, lemon myrtle, lemon aspen, quandong. So a lot of this native ingredients was coming straight through our doors, and we were cooking with it.
Yeah.
And I was doing that from pretty much the get-go.
I think that's really interesting because I was at a dinner last night where an Italian chef, it's at Bottega in Brighton, he has a partner from Thailand, so he brings those two strands together as an Italian Thai, and he's weaving in their native ingredients, but I don't feel as though I see those native ingredients in a lot of places, and I feel they're pretty amazing to work with.
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning, so I did a lot of food promotions, Australian food promotions overseas. So we went, the first one I did was in China, in Guangzhou, and that was 96, around then, 95, 96. So I was still an apprentice, but I was the head chef of the restaurant that I was working in. And they took us over there, and we partnered up with a company in Darwin called Prep Fine Foods. So it's a really old fruit and veg store that turned into more of a deli, got the more finer things in Darwin. And they took me over there, and we did a month-long takeover of the hotel in Zhuhai. And then we were baking whole crocodiles in pizza ovens, and
Did you take those with you?
We took everything over there. Yeah,
whole crocodiles.
Yeah, 6-foot crocodiles.
What?
Yeah,
it's a big pizza oven.
Baker's oven. Sorry,
a baker's oven. Even so.
Yeah.
What do you have to do to? How do you cook a crocodile?
Well, we
obviously remove organs and things, do you?
Yeah, so we...
Never heard of it.
Yeah, so we were really... it was really cool. It was so cool. So we had three crocodiles, and it was for the final dinner, the big buffet. And so we had the head of the crocodile was still on, which wasn't a norm. But we managed to have that, and also the claws intact. So we got some muslin cloth and wrapped them up, made them really wet, so they wouldn't discolour or bake. And then the whole carcass and the tail we actually rubbed with honey and wattle seed. Oh. And then we wrapped it in paper bark.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, and then we baked it, and it was terrific. It was delicious.
I've had alligator in Florida, but I haven't eaten crocodile here. Is it? I mean, are they
very similar?
Similar, yeah. It's a kind of seafoody but chickeny.
Yeah. So if they're farmed, they eat a lot of chicken. Yeah. So. Well, that's all they eat, really.
Yeah. Okay. So that might flavour the meat, or right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So fascinating. Yeah. And I bet that was that went down quite well in China, did it? Because it's been pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. So. There was 450 guests, and we had a full buffet, including possum and lots of weird and wacky stuff, green ant studded smoked salmon, and the buffet was set out, and literally they asked each table to go one at a time, which they really didn't. They saw these crocodiles on these massive buffets, so it was a big deal for them and us, and they just ripped into these crocodiles, and it was literally like being at a museum afterwards. It was just bones within minutes.
And so what was the object of that? Was it to start exporting to China? And did that happen?
Yeah, so it was a lot of introductory stuff. So we followed that up with another one at the Royal Hong Kong Jockey Club, which was very exciting. So we took over a couple of their outlets, one including the Derby Room, which is their fine dining restaurant, which was, back then was absolutely next level. So that had a full induction kitchen, and this is early 90s, mid 90s. So they had state of the art everything, and basically we were introducing the flavours through his name's Vic Cherikov, who was sort of the original guy that was cultivating or gathering these ingredients. So they were very expensive, but we were just sort of trying to lean them into these Asian flavors. So we were not just doing classical French cooking with these ingredients. So we were going down the Asian route. In Darwin, there's a lot of Thai, Malay, Filipino, and Chinese. So those flavors are already there in the territory. So we, and the Indonesians as well. So we were sort of building our menus, and it was cohesive as much as we possibly could, because we were really trying to sell. You know, so this was also backed by the Darty, which was the Darwin branch that were trying to literally export anything from Australia. So we were doing barramundi, snapper, also Tasmania was doing ocean trout and the salmon as well. So yeah, it was a pretty big deal. Yeah.
Wow. So how long were you involved with that?
Right up until I was actually still doing it when I arrived in Melbourne after 2000. So the last one I did was in Hong Kong at the Mandarin Orient. I think 2005. So same sort of deal. Just putting together, you know, an expression of myself and what I've learned over this time, which is super exciting for a young chef. Because there was
you left the cricket club then, or you still?
Yeah. So that was the cricket club. Was only a year where we started. So then he opened a restaurant called the Cornucopia Museum Cafe, which was on the water, which was really, really awesome. And I did that for a few years.
So you worked your way up?
Yeah, so I was pretty much the head chef after the second year of my apprenticeship.
Wow.
So I really pushed hard, very hard. Really always dedicated to what I was doing. I was working all the time. But it was super exciting. It wasn't just a run-of-the-mill sort of go to work, make some, you know, some salads or, you know, cook a couple of steaks. So we were, you know, it was, back then it was really cutting edge, actually. So, and John Walsh was classically trained, so I was classically trained as well. So, you know, everything, cooking proteins perfectly, sauces were all everything. Attention to detail was very, very high.
Thank you. Right, so then you were there, and what made you think about coming to Melbourne? Just to push yourself a bit more, or try something?
So there was sort of capped in Darwin. It's a small town. When I left, maybe there was 80,000 people there.
Okay.
So it's very tiny. It's like a suburb in Melbourne.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was, you know, I did all the apprentice competitions, did very well.
Oh, that's right, yes.
So I, you know, I really wanted to push myself.
Do you think all chefs should do competitions?
Yes. Yeah. It gives you some confidence. A lot of confidence, actually, and you meet a lot of people in that space as well. So I did the Golden Chef's hat twice, and I met a lot of cool young chefs, and just by being in the same space and seeing what they produce in this amount of time, from the restaurants or the hotels that they were working in, really sort of gives you a pretty quick snapshot of what is possible. Same with these Australian food promotions. So not only was we taking over there, we were seeing what they were doing as well. So it was continuously learning and absorbing everything that was in my way, basically.
Because that was going to be my question. What do you think makes, you know, a great chef as opposed to a good chef? And I guess it's those things, that curiosity, pushing yourself, wanting to go further. Yeah,
and being exposed. So a lot of the young chefs these days are very lucky because they're exposed to stuff, a work culture that's a little bit better than what it was before. I was lucky. I sort of escaped that. I suppose my trajectory was so fast. I missed the real big push in some of these kitchens. So my ambition was quite high to be a head chef. Already attained that. So it was about surrounding myself with people that were going to be able to teach me and give me some knowledge. So I was fortunate I didn't get the crazy chef. I mean, John Walshy was very strict. He was a very hard man, and occasionally we saw his temper, but there was none of the horror stories that he...
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, obviously. No one wants to be in. I've just been watching The Bear.
Yep.
I don't know what chefs think of that, but in terms of that fear that can live on from, and people often can replicate the way they've been taught, so then there's this enduring cycle of harshness, and I'm a firm believer in whatever emotion goes into the food must somehow affect the people eating it, having read that book, Like Water for Chocolate. So it's nice to know people have a nice atmosphere in the kitchen, I think. So you came to Melbourne, and were you at MoVida straight away?
No, so I was at the... I got a posting with Accor, so I worked for Accor in Darwin. So I left the restaurant and went to Accor to be the sous chef. I thought hotel experience would be very important for my next move in my career. So I applied for a position here at the Mercure Hotel on Spring Street. It used to be the old Sheraton, long time ago. I did that for a year, and then I found a job that I was interested in, which was in the Docklands. So when the Docklands first went up, it was called Liquid Bar, and I did some tapas there. And that was around the same time that Frank was doing his stuff as well, actually, in Hosier Lang. And then I opened a restaurant, another big restaurant, which was mine in the Docklands, called Vicava Kitchen and Bar. And it was more big family style restaurant, and the Docklands failed miserably.
Still.
We lasted 7 years.
Wow, that's good though.
Yeah. Yeah, so I worked very hard.
Wow.
In hindsight, probably shouldn't have. Impacted my career quite a bit. Took a big chunk out.
Yeah.
But then after that, a good friend of mine and Frank's, he used to work with Frank, Matt Jamangis. We actually went to culinary school in Darwin, so Matt came there did a couple of years in Darwin. So he knew Frank, and then we got to talk, and then I went to MoVida next door, which is probably the best fun I've had cooking. It was just so awesome to be able to, just have amazing ingredients come in every day, and then just build and just basically cook as many things as I could within a week. So something would come in, I'd speak to the guys at Clams and say, well, what have you got? And they'd bring in something awesome, whether it was live scallops or marrons or, lots of surf clams. So that would all come in, and we'd just go crazy with it, and it was awesome. And it was so busy, so it just turned over, and it was just...
Yeah.
And literally in that kitchen, you are pretty much in the dining room as well.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, there'd be that real adrenaline rush, I think, in a restaurant like that, wouldn't
Yeah, it was so cool.
Yeah, and you went in as head chef, and I did read in your the piece that you were reflecting on that it was quite difficult to come in from the outside as a head chef, and so you did have to work with the team in perhaps a different way. Was that?
Yeah, so it was. I was the first head chef in the MoVida group that wasn't one of Frank's apprentices, which. At the time I sort of was acutely aware of what that meant, and in the end, it was pretty good. I mean, all eyes were on me.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we were producing some awesome food, the team and I, and the business was super strong. We had a line-up outside the window every Friday and Saturday night. So, I did that for a few years, and I loved it. Yeah.
I feel like you've had lots of different experiences, and as you say, even though that large chunk maybe, you might feel as though it took something away from your career and so on, you have had a lot of different experiences, so cafes and the cricket club and hotels and working in Docklands and with your own place. So, and now you're still in it. Mm-hmm. What do you like? What you loved about it initially, the thrill and the adrenaline, has that shifted, or what do you love about it now?
Yeah, so now it's shifted. Well, this is my business now.
Oh.
So for me, the culinary part of it, the cooking, the camaraderie, and passing on knowledge to the next generation, and that's very important. And I've always been an advocate for positive reinforcement for kitchen staff. It's a hard, demanding job, and it is. It's just pressure, but it doesn't have to be an angst pressure. So now I've really shifted towards mentoring the team, and usually they're young people, and I really enjoy their growth now. So it's more about showing them there's a right way to do things, and it doesn't have to be so insanely difficult. And I can see it, and I've seen it walking. So I've been a group executive chef for the company that used to own this place. I was a group executive chef for the Oriental Tea House group. I was also the group executive chef for TGI Fridays for about 8 months. So I've got a really good grip on how big teams work in management teams, and then it filters down into these small departments in each restaurant. So there was multiple restaurants with the company prior to this. We built and designed a lot of restaurants, a lot of kitchens, a lot of menus. So my real strength now is working with people and designing things that are, I suppose, achievable without cutting any corners with quality.
So how long have you been with the Hofbrauhaus?
So 5 years in total. 5 years, maybe 6.
Right.
Yeah, and I've owned it for the last year and a half.
Okay. And how are you putting your own stamp on that? I mean, obviously the mentoring and so on. It's such a fun concept, and I love how German it looks, and how that can transport you elsewhere. But what would you like to see for it, or what are you seeing?
So, Philip is the marketing guy and the manager, and he's as German as they come. He's Mr. Authenticity. So, I've been to Germany, I've been to Austria, and did a lot of work with the previous company to understand the culture behind it, and we just want to be as authentic as we can possibly be, but making sure that we are everything we do here is made from scratch. Nothing is bought in. We make all of our sauces. We crumb our schnitzels to order.
Wow.
Yeah, which is a huge thing. When I first heard that, I thought, you guys are absolutely out of your minds. But it's a massive difference.
Yeah.
And it's about quality control now for us. And this place has always been really friendly, really warm, and so much fun. When people leave here, they had the best night of their life.
Yeah.
And we're doing big numbers, so it's not an easy feat to do what we do. In fact, it's very impressive as far as a kitchen point of view goes.
Yeah.
So at the moment, the food is more. We sell more food than we do drinks. You wouldn't think that, but it's a restaurant foremost first, and then the hospitality that we have. So we have live music every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and Sunday.
An accordion?
No, a full band.
A full band?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so they play the traditional stuff, and then they move into the more, the Neil Diamonds and things that people get up and dance and go a little bit crazy.
Okay. So they're over there.
Yeah, so there's two parts to the restaurant. So this is the restaurant. This restaurant's been here for 55 years. It's 56 years.
Amazing.
This year. And then next door we have a bar. It's called the Alpine Bar, and we have a beer hall upstairs as well.
Oh, okay.
So the capacity is about 350.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
So most Saturdays we're doing 600 plus.
And crumbing all the schnitzels to order?
Yeah. Hundreds of them.
Well, it would be hundreds. What is that the thing? What is it mainly what people order?
So,
and you must have the Würstchen as well.
Yep. So we have lots of sausage available. So, but we do the pork knuckle as well, which is the whole hock.
Oh yeah.
And people go crazy over it. We have what we call a HB platter, which is a platter with all the bits, all the favourite bits. So it has pork belly, has the knuckle itself, some schnitzels, sauerkraut, mash, red cabbage, and some sausage and wurst as well.
It's crazy, 600. That's That's huge. That's that feels very sort of German styles to be doing those numbers.
Yeah, so it's sort of like what we're trying to do is have Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
Anytime you want it.
Amazing. Does it go especially mad in October though?
Totally. So we're very fortunate. So we get an extra 6 weeks of what we call like a Christmas period.
Yeah.
So we have, so traditionally it starts in the middle of September. So we start when Germany starts, and then we go to the end of October.
So much fun. I was in Germany as an exchange student just before the wall came down. So
very cool.
I feel like a museum relic. I could be wheeled out. And it's a long time ago, obviously, but I have really vivid memories of being I wasn't there for Oktoberfest, but I was there for Fasching, the carnival, in February in Bavaria, and it was amazing.
Yep.
Germans know how to have a good time.
Yes, they definitely know how to have a good time.
Which is funny because it's, people often have this idea that they're really serious, but they definitely know how to have fun, yeah.
I think they try to tell us that they're serious, but we really know that they're not.
So do you get to still be on the tools?
Yes.
Or?
Yep. So I still cook most days. Is
that important to you?
Yes. Yeah. It just lets the team know that I try to lead by example as much as I can. I'm stepping out a little bit more than I have done before, only to give a clear voice to the head chef that's in there now. So being the executive chef and the owner, it can cloud the team's judgment. So if I'm not there, who are they looking at? And it also gives, I'm mentoring this person to be the best head chef that she can be. And that you have to recognise that if you're in there all the time, then everyone would just be looking at you. So I've consciously given space, but when on her days off, I'm in there.
Yeah, great. And can you still be surprised by food?
Yes.
And flavour.
Yeah, I mean, I'm. So, the German cuisine wasn't my first choice of it being awesome. because it comes across at a first glance quite stodgy, quite unattractive. But the reality is that it's far from that. The simple things to do again and again and again and again are very, very difficult. So crumbing chicken to order is very difficult. Cooking them perfectly is very difficult. Getting the sausage at the right temperature and then cook the way they're meant to with, and the knuckles, they're not an easy thing to have this perfectly crisp knuckle, and the pork belly the same as well. So I've introduced a lot of modern techniques to help us with making sure our proteins are perfect. So we've got some pretty cool ovens in there. We're still doing, we do some sous vide work on our steaks and stuff like that. So we've got old style cooking, but we've also implemented some techniques so that it's perfect, so we can do the numbers that we do and have it as perfect as we can.
And what's your favourite thing to eat? Not necessarily here, but...
Yeah, so, working at MoVida and being from the territory, so seafood is a big thing that I love. I love cooking with seafood. So it's not a big opportunity for us to do that with the German cuisine.
No.
We do have a fantastic fish dish on the menu though, and it's always one, and it's always awesome. At home, I try to shop at the market, and we'll pick up some fish, some shellfish when I can, and look, I love prawns and scallops. They're my thing.
And you also don't need to do much to them,
no.
do you? Just for that great flavour and texture.
Yeah, it's always, and I think keeping things as simple as possible is always the best thing.
Yeah. Great, thank you.
No worries.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Conversation with a Chef with Sunny Gilbert at the Hofbrauhaus. You can check out all the fun on Instagram at Hofbrauhaus_Melbourne. If you're not sure how that's spelled, it's HOFBRAUHAUS_Melbourne. If you'd like to hear more stories from other chefs, I'm on Instagram at Conversation with a Chef. You can read the chat and become a subscriber at www.conversationwithachef.com. And of course, you can follow me on Apple and Spotify podcasts. You can even give me 5 stars and leave a review if you want to. There's no pressure, of course. I'd love it if you told a friend about my chats, because that's still the best way to get the stories out there. Once again, thanks so much for listening. Have a great day and bon appetit, or in this case, guten Appetit.